Welcome back, everyone. Dirch here, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the weapon system. I don't think I was fully clear on how cool and exciting this was in the video, or people just didn't watch that far, but this is nuts. This might be able to turn purple weapons into essentially legendary weapons, and I'm going to get into this. And the impact of this should be massive, but also it'll take those legendary weapons and crank them up. But I'm more concerned, or not concerned, but more excited about what this is going to do to the base weapons and how cool this could make. Just expanding the weapon base so much, make them so effective. So it seems like these guns have our regular part systems, grips, sights, body, barrel, all those stocks, all those parts we used to have. But then these are additional parts that you can get up to one on green, two on blue, three on purple, four on legendary. And we got a lot of shots of what these extra parts do. And you can see on this one, you can get Maliwan and Torg and Hyperion and Vladoff all on one gun. So you can get multiple parts. And this is where it's insane. So let's look at what these are. So the order ones, you can charge them and then they do basically a burst fire. Similar to Doll, that charge would be a burst delay. So you can turn like any gun into essentially a Doll gun. Maliwan, you can add element switchers to them. So you can get non-elemental guns to be elemental, which is insanely sweet, especially for Jacobs. That's always been like the downfall of Jacobs is you can't match elements. Now, if you can take Jacobs and match elements, holy fuck, that's insane. I shouldn't swear. I'm gonna get demonetized. Ripper, you can turn any gun into full auto. That isn't. That's really cool. Um, Jacobs, they didn't show it, so I couldn't snip it, but I'm pretty sure from looking at things, it's gonna make critical hits ricochet. So you get that Jacobs bonus, which is an awesome thing on the Jacobs gun. But like imagine that on a Vladoff when you're just hailing bullets. That's very cool. Um, Deadless, the secondary fire consumes pistol ammo. I don't know what that secondary fire is going to do, if it's like the same damage, but you just increase your ammo pool, or if it's a different. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. Um, so I don't know how impactful that's going to be, but hopefully it's pretty cool. Especially like if it does work that way and you have like a shotgun and limited ammo, all of a sudden it's like, okay, I can just use assault rifle ammo to shoot a shotgun. That's pretty sweet. Or maybe you get the characteristics of that ammo. We'll find out. But like, yeah, if you could put shotgun ammo into any gun and shoot, you know, shotgun like out of a sniper rifle, you can turn anything into a skull masher, which is also very cool. Who knows how it's going to work? Vlanoff, we didn't get anything on. Um, TDR basically lets you shoot the leg gun, and they're going to go around shooting bullets. So that's also very sweet, especially with some of these guns. Again, like do that with like a Jacobs shotgun. I mean, sure, it'll only have a few shots, but like you can just spam that and let it go to town, or a Vladoff pistols or assault rifles or something with a large ammo pool. You can just toss a bunch of those out and let them go ham. Um, Torg, you can get sticky gyrojets on any gun. The sticky gyrojets are awesome, even though they got nerfed in Borderlands 3, and it looks like the 3% is the nerf. It's still extra damage, and it's still very cool, and I'm pretty pumped about that. Then, um, we got some of these. You get the artifacts that can boost these effects. We didn't see a lot of these, so we don't know what they're going to do. But like on the Ripper, they have a high roller one, and there might be multiples of these for each one. We don't know yet. But it gives you continuous damage by 2% for each consecutive shot fired, for a max of 25 stacks. So again, um, you can make Jacob's pistol, for example, full auto, and then you get consecutive damage on it. That would be sweet. Or, add that to, I mean, Vladov's already full auto, but you just get consecutive damage on a Vladov. That would be really sweet. We don't know what the other ones are going to be. We'll find out. But we have a few more here for the other ones. So Jacobs, which we didn't get a shot of its ability, but this kind of confirms it. Uh, if you get the Jacob license, you also get a 40% chance to ricochet non-critical bullets. So again, imagine that on like a Vladoff or something that just spits out bullets like crazy. There's just gonna be bullets everywhere. And then Torg, you get an extra 50% bonus damage when you first attach the sticky to the enemy. And with high damage guns like Jacobs, that could be crazy. So you can get on a purple gun 3 of these. And that's what's so cool on this. So here's my concept. And who knows if this is actually going to happen, but it could very well happen. If mashers come back, one of my favorite gun types in the history of Borderlands, you guys know I love my Jacobs, and the mashers are so much fun. You could get a Jacobs where you get the Ripper attachment so you can charge it and then fire full auto on a masher, hopefully with more of a magazine than four. Um, or maybe you do the order one and do a burst, so you do a 4 round burst out of a masher. And on that masher, you could make it have Torg stickies, so it would be like the duck from Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, but a full auto duck. That's a masher because the duck was not a masher. So you can do a masher full auto duck, and you can make that elemental. So it'd be like a Maggie Duck Greed, and that's not a red text gun. Think about that. That seems insane. Or if you do this to like a Jacobs quad or stagecoach or what I forget what they called the big one in Borderlands 3, but like one of those like 20 pellet plus Jacobs shotguns and make that elemental and give it splash damage and stickies with a Torg and make it burst fire with order. I mean, you're basically doing like a super version of the Twister, but it can come in any element. Um, all that stuff sounds so cool. And this is just thinking about like 2 guns, but you know, uh, adding Molly or the Jacobs Ricochet to like a Molly Wand sniper, and you already have that awesome splash damage. Um, then you start adding some of these other things, and boom, that gun is supercharged. So this is why I'm so excited about these weapon parts. It's going to make these guns so much more interesting and dynamic and hopefully usable. Because again, in Borderlands 2, we used a fair amount of just purple weapons in endgame, not so much blue and green. Well, blue red text, but base guns, non red text guns. We used quite a bit of those in Borderlands 2, less so in Borderlands 3, and we used a lot of them in Borderlands 1. And I think this is going to bring that back again, and that has me so so excited. Um, yeah, the possibilities are just huge, and it should be really fun just min maxing with this, playing with this. Then especially when you add in these artifacts and again the leaper one for Jacobs on a Vladoff gun, or even like a Mollywan SMG. I mean, imagine that just bullets, elemental bullets flying all over the place, stickies, and whatever some of these other ones are going to do that we haven't seen yet. And they might have multiple ones of these. And maybe when DLCs come out, we get new artifacts with new abilities for guns, and they go even further. I'm excited to see what the TDR one can do, because if you can turn any gun into a TDR gun, that just seems broken. Especially with like mag size increases, so they can just shoot forever. And, you just pull out all these guns that are just going to go nuts on enemies. Yeah, this all seems like there's so much potential to make things cool. And again, like the masher concept, man. You know, a duck greed Maggie. That's not a red text gun. That is just nuts to me. And I love all of those guns. So the fact that we could combine all of them is beyond cool. Let me know what you guys think and see if I hope this makes more sense for like how interesting this is. And if this is this interesting for regular guns, imagine what this is going to do to our legendary guns to make those guns more diverse and unique and be able to play with them in different ways to min max the different builds. Again, if it's not the Masher, I'm doing this to the Maggie is even cooler if the Maggie's back or the Becca. I mean, a full auto Becca that can be elemental with sticky bullets. that's that's insane to me. Or just all these guns that are coming back. The if we get the Hellfire back and it's back to Maliwan and you can get ricocheting bullets on the Hellfire that shoot shotgun bullets. I mean, that's cool. And you can turn it into a Tediore and just let it go around burning everything to the ground. Hell yeah. That's like Krieg level insanity. Um, so exciting, very exciting, and I just can't stop thinking about all the potential of this and just all the new weapons we're going to get, but just how much cooler this is going to make the weapons. It's not just parts, it's changing how the weapon works. And that's what makes Borderlands cool. Talk to you all later. Bye.